education, the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. I've lived through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened. The trouble is not in dying for a friend, but in finding a friend worth dying for. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Always do what is right. It will gratify half of mankind and astound the other. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. You can't depend on your eyes when your imagination is out of focus. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence on society. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all one's lifetime. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Sanity and happiness are an impossible combination. What would men be without women? Scarce, sir, mighty scarce. Books are for people who wish they were somewhere else. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Loyalty to country always, loyalty to government when it deserves it. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. Never allow someone to be your priority while allowing yourself to be their option. God created war so that Americans would learn geography. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Substitute damn every time you're inclined to write very. Your editor will delete it and the writing will be just as it should be. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. I have never let my schooling interfere with my education. Classic, a book which people praise and don't read. Never put off till tomorrow what may be done day after tomorrow just as well. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to reform or pause and reflect. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. This is the ideal life. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. A clear conscience is the sure sign of a bad memory. I can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Life does not consist mainly, or even largely, of facts or happenings. It consists mainly of the storm of thoughts that is forever flowing through one's head. What is man? Man is a noisome bacillus whom our Heavenly Father created because he was disappointed in the monkey. Patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. In the first place, God made idiots. This was for practice. Then He made school boards. The right word may be effective, but no word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. It takes your enemy and your friend working together to hurt you to the heart, the one to slander you and the other to get the news to you. There was never yet in an interesting life such a thing as an impossibility. Inside of the dullest exterior there is a drama, a comedy, and a tragedy. My books are water. Those of the great geniuses is wine. Everybody drinks water. Part of the secret of success in life is to eat what you like and let the food fight it out inside. It's better to keep your mouth shut and appear stupid than open it and remove all doubt. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. There are many humorous things in the world. Among them, the white man's notion that he is less savage than the other savages. I have a higher and grander standard of principle than George Washington. He could not lie. I can, but I won't. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know because I've done it thousands of times. I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Always acknowledge a fault. This will throw those in authority off their guard and give you an opportunity to commit more. The dog is a gentleman. I hope to go to his heaven, not man's. The Bible has noble poetry in it, and some good morals, and a wealth of obscenity, and upwards of 1,000 lies. Adam was but human. This explains it all. He did not want the apple for the apple's sake. He wanted it only because it was forbidden. The mistake was in not forbidding the serpent. Then he would have eaten the serpent. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. The most interesting information come from children, for they tell all they know and then stop. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about even the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world, and moral courage so rare. Heaven goes by favor. If it went by merit, you would stay out and your dog would go in. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. April 1st. This is the day upon which we are reminded of what we are on the other 364. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. If animals could speak, the dog would be a blundering, outspoken fellow, but the cat would have the rare grace of never saying a word too much. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Get your facts first, and then you can distort them as much as you please. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence, then success is sure. The worst loneliness is to not be comfortable with yourself. The easy confidence with which I know another man's religion is folly teaches me to suspect that my own is also. You believe in a book that is talking animals, wizards, witches, demons, sticks turning into snakes, burning bushes, food falling from the sky, people walking on water, and all sorts of magical, absurd, and primitive stories, and you say that we are the ones that need help. The best way to cheer yourself is to try to cheer someone else up.